Our today's topic is literary devices in poems. This topic holds good for 9th, 10th, 11th as well as 12th class students. Now, literary devices are some special kinds of things that a poet uses to create different effects or feelings in his poem. These literary devices in poems or poetic devices, as we shortly call them, are of many types. Let us take them one by one. The first literary device we are going to talk about is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound at the start of two or more words that are close together. Look at this example. Of the forest's ferny floor. This line exists in the poem Listeners by Walter de la Mare, which is in class 11. In this line, forest's ferny floor. The first sound of forests is f, ferny f, floor f. So here the same consonant sound is repeated. And this repetition is known as alliteration. Again from the same poem. And the last line is, and how the silence surged softly backward. Here the sound s, silence, surged softly. S sound at the beginning, at the start of three words is repeated. And this is another example of alliteration. Now, an example from class 12 Sunrise poem by Padma Sajdev. The line is, the sun seizing the opportunity. Here the sun, s sound, seizing, s sound. So, s sound is repeated twice. And this repetition is known as alliteration. Moving on further, second type is allusion. Now, in some poems, the poet refers to some historical thing, to some well-known person, place or thing. That reference we call as allusion. For example, in the class 11th poem, The Season of Plains by Agha Shahid Ali. The poet refers to Heer and Ranjha. These are well-known persons, Heer and Ranjha. And this reference is known as allusion. Another example is from class 11 poem Narcissus. In the poem Personal Helicon for Michael Longley by Seamus Heaney. This Narcissus is a famous marble sculpture, and here the poet refers to this marble sculpture. So this is all again an example of allusion. The third type of literary device in poem or poetic device is anaphora. Anaphora is the repeated use of a word at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Consecutive means लगातार. जब लगातार दो या तीन लाइनों में एक ही वर्ड लगातार लाइनें होनी चाहिए. किसी पोएम की दो या तीन लाइनों में स्टार्ट का वर्ड सेम होगा तो उस रिपीटिशन को हम कहते हैं एनाफोरा. फॉर एग्जांपल, in the poem The Listeners by Walter de la Mare, there is a line, and the sound of iron on stone. उसके बाद की दूसरी लाइन है, and how the silence surged softly backward. In both the lines, both the lines start with the same word and this is an example of anaphora. Another example from class 12 poem After Apple Picking by Robert Frost. I cannot rub the strangeness from my sight I got from looking through a pane of glass. I skimmed this morning from the drinking cup. These are three consecutive lines. लगातार लाइनें हैं. All these three lines start with the same word I. So this is an example of anaphora. Now the fourth type, fourth literary device, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of a vowel sound within a sentence. When the same vowel sound is repeated in a sentence, that repetition is known as assonance. And this vowel sound, this repetition of vowel sound, this vowel sound does not need to be at the start of the word. It can be in the middle of the word also. For example, after apple picking, class 12 poem by Robert Frost, there's a line: magnified apples appear and disappear. Apples, so there is a sound, appear, a sound, disappear, a sound. Here the a sound is at the start of the words, but here it is in the middle of the word. So when this vowel sound is repeated within a sentence, this device is known as assonance. Another example from class 12 poem, Inklings from the Dark by Rahman Rahi. I espied an eagle in the wild shadows of my mind. Here I sound, espied, first I, espied, फिर I sound, an eagle in the wild, फिर I sound, shadows of my I sound, mind, फिर I sound. So this I sound is repeated. So this is another example of assonance. In both the cases, in first instance, a sound, this is a vowel sound, and in the second case, I sound, this is also a vowel sound. So this repetition of vowel sounds within a sentence is known as assonance. And you have to remember that this vowel sound need not be at the start of the word, it can be in the middle of the word also. Number 5 is consonance. Consonance is the repetition of a consonant sound in a sentence. This is opposite to assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound, and consonance is the repetition of a consonant sound in a sentence. Now, alliteration is also the repetition of a consonant sound, but in alliteration, the sound, the consonant sound must be at the start of two or more words, whereas in consonance, the consonant sound can be at the start or in the center, in the middle of the word. Example, 11th class poem, Personal Helicon for Michael Longley by Seamus Heaney. There's a line, now to pry into roots, to finger slime, to sound, into sound, roots, sound, to sound. Here the sound is at the start, into, here it is in the middle, sound in the start. So this repetition of the same consonant sound, whether it is at the start or in the middle of the word, is known as consonance. In alliteration, the repetition of the consonant sound must be at the start of the word. Another example, to see myself, to see the darkness echoing. This is from the poem When Autumn Came by Faiz Ahmad Faiz in class 12. Here, sir sound, see, to see myself, sir sound, to see, again sir sound, the darkness, sir sound. In this case, the sir sound is at the start of the word, myself, sir sound is in the middle of the word, see at the start of the word, darkness at the end of the word. So it is unlike alliteration. Here sir sound is repeated, so it is also an example of consonance. Sixth device is enjambment. Sometimes in a poem, a sentence continues into three or more lines. A sentence continues into three or more lines without a pause. This device is known as enjambment. For example, Once Upon a Time by Gabriel O'Connor, class 12 poem. There was a time indeed, they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that is gone, son. Here it starts with there and ends on son, but the sentence is completed in 3 lines, and this is known as enjambment. Another example from the poem The Mosquito, class 11 poem by W.H. Lawrence. How can you put so much devilry into that translucent phantom shred of a frail corpse? Here the sentence runs into 3 lines, and when a sentence continues into 3 or more lines without a pause, this is known as enjambment. And I think this for today, and it shall be continued in the next lesson. Thank you.